the red that was slathered on his face, the choice of words. You will always be mine now. You can't run anymore. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Espoir du Vide, and today I want to play a game that's part of the Stained Red Yandere visual novel jam called Perfect Love. For a while, you were obsessed with the idea of a specific love. Not the type that was advertised in romantic books or romantic movies. Not the type that grows together, that supports each other. The type that others envy. You wanted the type that corrodes and suffocates. The type that held on to you, clinging, begging to be loved. Who could only think about you, to only have you, whatever costs. You had dated countless people to find that love, all failures. It was never enough, and it would never be enough. You discarded them all aside and decided if no one could give you the love you craved, then you would create someone who could. Uh-oh. Wouldn't that be fun? My name is Espoir. Espoir. My, hello there. It's you and everyone else. You know, I heard that using a certain ashy name might give different results. Oh no. But that's just a simple rumor. Oh dear. Does that mean if I named someone Ashton, something would happen? Also, oh no! Who knows if it's true? I shall have to try this as long as I don't forget. Well then, let's begin. You remember when you first met him? The person who you would create the perfect love from. College life was as dull as normal, classes to studying to group calls. While walking aimlessly, you heard the cries of a poor individual, a student in the corner, mercilessly taunting and beating up a poor victim. Oh no! Despite already graduating into college, it seems some students still kept their bullying habits from high school. Please, I completed the assignment like you said. Why are you... Come on, Milo. You know why it has to be like this. Who was the one who tried to out us to the professors? Oh no! We're the only ones who even tolerate you, you know. We're your only friends. And friends, well, they don't just snitch on other friends. I swear, I didn't. It wasn't... What a sad sight to see. You almost felt bad. Almost. You walked up to them, casually. Move. You're causing a disturbance. What are you... Turning to you, he flinches visibly, shrinking away in fear. Yeah, you better. Did you hear me? I didn't think... Leave. Yeah, you don't want to see me when I get actually mad right now. You could almost hear him whimper as he ran away, his tail between his legs. Gracefully, you walk to the victim, pulling him up by the arm. Thank you. He stumbles forward and leans on you before scrambling and adjusting himself. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. Those friends of yours are rather cruel, aren't they? He looks up at you for a bit, startled. Please tell me I'm not going to manipulate this sweet baby into being a yandere for me. I sure hope not. Well, I can't blame them. I transferred only a bit ago, and I'm still not used to being in such a new area. They took me in when I had nobody else. So, whether I like them or not, it's better than being alone. Especially since my family is so far away. He looks up at you with resolve. But you were able to scare them away so easily. How did you... It's pretty simple, really. You just have to have a menacing aura and 30 years of pent-up rage. They know not to mess with me. You need to know how to speak their language, that's all. Speak their language? He hesitates, biting his nails a bit. Why did you save me? You just did it because you felt sorry for me, right? I mean, I get it. It's just we're in some of the same classes, right? You just want me to do your homework, so I understand. I did it because I was worried about you. I don't care about making you do my homework. Worried? About me? Of course! Who wouldn't be worried about someone being bullied? Well, it seems at least I did. Milo seems silent at first, but eventually speaks up. This may be a bit presumptuous, but could you teach me how to stand up for myself like you did? You look at him, your gaze not wavering. Milo, you transferred only last year, correct? I believe you're taking... kinesiology? Kinesiology? What's that? And you have pretty impressive grades. How did you know that? I keep an eye on things that have my interest. If I had known you were being bullied, I would have stepped in sooner. Milo turns a shade of pink after hearing that you had an interest in him. Aww. It was hard not to keep an eye on him. He always glanced at you whenever you passed him by. We had some of the same classes after all. You could always feel him watching, even when you weren't looking at him. Lonely, has a crush on you, isolated from his family and others like him. Meek and obedient. Perfect. Oh no! You want me to teach you? If you could. All right, I don't mind. On one condition. You reach out your hand, expectedly. Date me. Aww. He's so shocked that he nearly falls over. You can't help but smile. What? Date? But He laughs awkwardly. Of course. You just wanted to mess around with me, right? That's very funny. Since there's no way that you would actually like me. Don't say stuff like that. It sounds like you're already rejecting me. Especially since you're quite the catch. Milo turns beet red, unable to speak for a second. But date? But we just met, and I don't know if I'm ready for... Milo, calm down, all right? The only way to get to know someone more personally is if you date them. Think of it as a test run. How can you know if you don't try, right? I guess that's true. But I think I'd like to date someone I could spend my life with. It's kind of cheesy when I say it out loud. How perfect. Oh no! Don't manipulate the boy! I feel the same. I would only date someone I could depend on for all my life. So then, let's make it count, shall we? You hold out your hand again, and he tenderly holds it. You won't betray me, right? It's just that people in the past would jokingly... Why would I do such a cruel thing, Milo? Can't you just trust me, the one who saved you? His face looks up with a bit of surprise. Saved me? That's right. So then, from now on, I am your... girlfriend. Please treat me well. My girlfriend. He smiles nervously and taps his feet happily. I've never had someone like that. So, I'm not sure what to expect. What kind of thing should I do with my girlfriend? Look at all the TikToks that I'm going to send you. Let me explain the extended lore of Revolutionary Girl Utana to you in the long hours of the night, and give me hand holdings and head pats. That's pretty much it. How about we come up with a nickname for each other? Nickname? Well, what do you think would be a good nickname? Let's see. Aw, Pet? Aw, I don't want to call him Pet. No. Muffin. You will be my little muffin. My muffin. Oh, that nickname is... Well, I don't mind it too much. I'm glad you like it. Despite any possible complaints, you could see that he enjoyed being gifted a nickname. My muffin. My muffin. I feel so special, my muffin. It feels nice to be special, doesn't it? Well then, my muffin, my classes are starting soon. Oh, so soon? I'll miss you. Clingy. Sorry, I didn't mean... It's all right. I think it's very cute, my muffin. Don't try to dance around me. I'm your girlfriend, after all. I will accept all of you, as long as you do the same. Do you accept all that I am? Yes, of course. Of course I do. Why do I feel like I'm getting this poor lad caught in, like, a blood pact of some sort? Good. That makes me happy. You walk a few steps before stopping. Before I do, shall we set a time for a date? A date? So soon? No need to fret, my muffin. It's just a way for us to know each other better. And so I can teach you how to stand up for yourself. Meet me at the split path at 7 p.m. and we can go somewhere fun together. I have a couple of good places. Okay, split path. Don't be late, Milo. My little muffin. As you walked away, you could feel Milo's gaze boring in on you, watching as you left him behind. The start of an obsession. At 7 p.m., you come to the split path and see Milo pacing about. Okay, be courteous and on time, compliment her, and don't forget to... Milo! Eep! Jumping, Milo fumbles the flowers that he brought with him. You brought flowers too? I feel bad. I should have brought something as well. No need. I just thought, I wanted to get something as beautiful as my girlfriend. What a charmer. Aw, forget the manipulation plan. Let's just go home and cuddle and play Super Mario Brothers. You almost feel bad for what you're going to do with him. Almost. Oh no, I'm pure evil! Thank you for the flowers. I'll try to gift you something later tonight in return. Although the flowers might not be suitable for what we'll be doing. Oh, really? I'm sorry. There's no need to blame yourself. I never told you what we were going to do after all. I'll keep them safe in my bag for now. Taking the flowers, you carefully place them in your bag. Where should we go then? Maybe we should get to know each other. Like, I actually really enjoy sewing. Maybe later. There's more important things to attend to. There's actually 2 places we can go, although drastically different. The first place is the batting range. It might be nice to exercise a bit. Your perfect love needs to be strong, not just in strength, but in rage. To watch him crush your enemies to gain your love, to watch him use force to get what he pleases. Me in the game? How are you so sure that this isn't going to backfire on you? A devotion with violence is an important asset. I'm sure he has some rage after being bullied for so long. The second is a party on the other end. It might be nice to socialize with others, to get them on our side. A perfect place to teach him how to manipulate others. A perfect love with the power to sway those around him, to do his bidding for him. A silver tongue and a charismatic act. Sometimes the only way to fight fire is with fire itself. They both sound so interesting. Although, I think you would know better. You can decide. Whatever you say, my muffin. Then let's head to the... I kind of want to see how he's going to do at the batting cages. Cute. Cute, the little sound effect. I'm in the mood to swing a bat. I'm not really the aggressive or athletic type. That's no problem. You have some anger to release, don't you? We'll have some fun. Then, shall we? Holding out your hand, Milo takes it, and we walk together towards the batting ring. My personal room, please. I have a personal batting room. Pulling Milo, we head to an empty room filled with bats and... a dummy. I thought we were going to swing a bat. Oh, we are. Just perhaps not in the way you were thinking. You pick up the bat, and it cracks as the dummy flies backwards and bounces back. Milo flinches at the loud sound. Here you go. Your turn. He seems reluctant to take it. I don't think I can. I'm against violence. My muffin. It's not against a real person, only a dummy. I'm not going to tell you to try to talk the dummy into a conversation. You place the bat into his hand. There's nothing wrong with letting out your anger like this. You lean in closer to him. Aren't you angry at those bullies? How they always use you? How they laugh behind your back even though you've done nothing wrong? You didn't deserve it. You never did. All you wanted was a peaceful life. That's how I felt. Is it not the same for you? Just let your rage out. He clenches his fists around the bat. You grin as he steps towards the dummy. Taking a step back, he clubs the dummy hard. And then again. And again. Why? Why do you always kick me? What have I done wrong? You think you know everything. Just die already. Almost in tears, Milo strikes the dummy over and over again. I mean, this actually could be very therapeutic for him if I wasn't a horrible, manipulative monster. The rage in his eyes is so tantalizing. You're thrilled beyond belief. Finally, after bludgeoning the dummy, he steps back, heaving to catch his breath. And one more strike. The bat shatters. Hot? Again, me in the game. Are you sure this isn't going to backfire on you? He screams out, dropping the remains of the bat and clutching his hand. Milo, are you all right? Sorry, I went overboard. What are you sorry about? It's the most alive that I've seen you. From your bag, you pull out some bandages. Give me your hand. He holds out his hand, blood-stained as you tend to the wound. I didn't think I had so much rage inside of me. It was scary, but it felt good. He looks up at me, grinning shyly. Yeah, it felt really good. He looks down, as if scared. I didn't scare you, did I? If I did, I promise I won't. My muffin, there's no way I could be scared of you that easily. If anything, it made me happy you were finally letting your anger out. This world can be cruel. You wrap his hands round and round. I wonder if there will come a day where you or I will get attacked.
What? Why would you think that?
It's only natural. This world is filled with violence. One day, you might have to strike back.
But solving violence with violence? It's wrong, right?
Not always. Don't think of it as violence. Think of it as self-defense. Protection against others, protecting the people you love. You trust me, right?
Yeah.
Then, please protect me if the situation arises.
I will. I promise.
Oh dear. And so, the bats continued swinging. From then on, the batting area became our place together. For dates, to let off steam, all sorts of things. And slowly, you taught him. Step back a bit when you hit. It's not fair for someone as kind and as strong as you to be hurt like this. Striking someone in the knees is a good way to disable someone. My muffin, you deserve the world, but they don't deserve you. The chin and nose as well. Everyone feels like they're against us. I can only trust you. And I'm the only one you can trust. The ways to hit, the way to act. It was fun at first, but it's important to keep each date entertaining. Destroying cars on an abandoned lot. Breaking glass jars, plates, and other pieces in a ramshackled house. Self-defense classes to fight, protect, hurt. Whatever it would take to train him, whatever it would take to watch him grow stronger. Ensnaring him to only cling on to you, to save only you. Nobody else in this world. Just as it should be. For a while, it seemed that days were peaceful. Milo grew more confident as a person, more brash in some senses. But oh no! His attire changed as well, more rough and ruthless. Yet despite this, his personality was still meek, timid. It seemed more work still needed to be done. The bullies slowly strayed away from him, not sure how to make of his development. And as they did, he stayed close to you, clinging. No one came near him, as it was meant to be. Because to him, you were his savior. And yet, it wasn't enough. Oh no! My, you've gotten stronger, my muffin. Those bullies have to think twice before coming near you. You've really changed, haven't you, Milo? Oh.
Is that bad? I mean, I like it a lot better now.
I think it's an improvement. Are you happy that you've been remade this way?
I feel like I'm a new person since I met you. It's a good feeling. I even got this new baseball bat to celebrate.
There. You briefly hear something being thrown before the wind is knocked out of you. What? What? You can barely push yourself up as you sputter blood and saliva onto the ground. You feel yourself being pulled out by the hair as you see Milo frozen in fear. Surrounding him are a bunch of gang members, holding pipes, bats, and other weapons.
A giant woman.
What? What? Well. Looks like Ryan was right this time. Ma'am? Why you hit my noggin? Scars traced on her face, and she looks you in the eyes. That brat really paid us big money to smack you around, huh? Huh?
Ryan? The one who's been bullying me all this time?
Oh, is that what this is about? He must have been butthurt that you're no longer a punching bag for him, huh? I guess that's why we gotta take it out on this girl, huh?
What?
He's trembling a bit, and his eyes are darting around anxiously.
Don't hurt her. It's me you want, right? My muffin. Don't hurt my muffin.
Your vision is blurred, and his voice is echoing in your ears. And yet, you smile. Remember what I said? This world is filled with violence. You promised to protect me, right? Are you really going back on that? Oh, looks like your muffin has some spunk. The next sound was a broken scream as a bat cracked into her ribcage. From then, there was nothing but a massacre. The cracks of bones as the bat shattered them, the screams of begging as he took another victim. Ooh! The sounds of splattered blood on the pavement below. Milo kept on bashing them over and over again. They tried to restrain him, keep him down, hit him, but he never flinched. The only thing he could think of was how to protect you. And soon, the gang member grabbing you was the last one standing. The scarred gang member flinched slightly, not expecting this meek man would put up such a fight. You smiled as you watched her quiver a bit. As Milo walked closer to her, hobbling a bit from side to side, dragging his now red bat across the floor. His eyes focused on only her. She dropped you and ran, and you looked up at Milo, covered in red. His eyes weren't one of a human anymore. Milo. Milo, my muffin. Come on, let's go. You dragged him away from the scene as best you could. You could feel him shaking a bit. Finally, he spoke.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
You protected me, my muffin. Why are you apologizing? It's Ryan's fault anyways. Didn't you hear what she said? That Ryan was the one who tried to attack me. All because I tried to help you.
Ryan. You're right. It's his fault.
Oh, my baby. From then on, the attacks became more frequent. Whenever you were outside, they would jump you from behind. Milo would always protect you as best he could.
I mean, if I'm constantly getting hit on the back of the head with a pipe, I think I'm gonna have a concussion pretty soon.
He became paranoid, clinging on to you more desperately to protect you. Unsurprisingly, it seemed that Ryan had disappeared at the moment, as if he knew that Milo would come after him.
What a coward.
You smirked. It was fitting of him. It seems that there's no one we can trust. The fact that anyone can attack me at any moment. We can only trust each other.
Of course, I won't let them hurt you. I won't let anyone hurt you.
Once again, you were surrounded by the bodies of gang members sent to harass you. Though you would never let him kill them, you could always tell that Milo could barely hold back. It's unfortunate that the police couldn't help us. In the end, the only one I can trust is you.
I will. I will protect you until the end.
I know you will, my muffin. He smiles as if he was looking at the only thing that mattered. The barrage of attackers seemed to have lessened. I think Ryan is starting to realize that brute force isn't going to cut it. But he'll have to come out eventually. In our class, he and I are assigned a project together.
I'm going to kill that bastard after what he's done to you.
You walk to him, stroking his cheek and calming him down. Did he make a puppy noise? There, my muffin. In due time.
You're my everything, so I can't lose you.
You smile silently as you feel his eyes gaze upon you. It's working. You pat around your pockets suddenly. It seems you've dropped it. Crouching down, you start to rummage under the bodies of the fallen.
What are you doing? What if they wake up and grab you?
Then you'll be there to beat them down again, right? There it is. You pull out a bundle of bandages from under the bodies. It looked like you're injured, so I'll have to patch you up again.
You could have just bought them from the store.
You could say I'm a bit sentimental. These ones are special. It's the same roll that I first patched you up with.
What? You kept that?
He seems flustered as you bandage his arms once again. Of course, it was the first date we had. After finishing, you pulled at his arm. Walk me home, all right? And so he walked you back to your dorm, safe and sound.
God, that kid was rough. I thought we were going against a college student. Is everyone all right? Did you get the cash? Yeah, that girl slipped it under when she picked up the bandages.
I knew it. I had a feeling I knew it.
That girl is a real freak. Who hires people to attack them? Must have something to do with that Ryan kid. Do you think it's some sort of revenge scheme? I don't know. It seemed like more than that. That girl. I feel bad for that Milo kid. He has no idea what's in store for him.
For a while, it seemed as if everything had died down. The attacks basically became non-existent, though we couldn't let our guard down. Milo was especially restless, glaring at anyone who even so happened to glance at you. He watched over you like a guard dog, stayed by you as much as he could. No one would come near us like that. It was comforting, in a way. And so, days went on as normal. Schoolwork, fun activities, some dates. Well, at least until one of the big projects for your class. It seems Ryan has appeared again, and he's my partner for the big project. Milo slams his fists into the wall next to him, denting it. The people around snap quiet in fear before slowly resuming their talk. Don't get too excited, my muffin.
I should find a way to rip his tongue out of his mouth. I'm sure I could find a way to bash his head in without anyone noticing.
Oh, that would be quite the treat to watch. If he cries out, it's even more fun. He smiles widely, cracking his knuckles. But not yet. As much as I'd love to destroy him in that way, my muffin, I would like to actually pass the class. This project is a huge part of my grade. So, let's hold off on it now, all right? Milo growls a bit, but remains silent afterwards. What was that?
Fine, but the second you guys are done...
He tightens his bandages. So as long as you don't draw any attention, you can do as you please. We're supposed to be meeting up in Cafe 15 to talk about what we're going to do. And I'd like you to come with, just in case. Well, who knows if you'll pull something. Milo scowls a bit, clearly wanting to punch a hole in his face.
As if I would have let you go alone. You're mine. and I won't let anyone touch you. The response sends shivers down your spine. You've trained him a little too well. Isn't this exactly what you wanted? As we walked in, we see Ryan sitting at one of the booths. His face twists from contempt to annoyance when he sees that Milo has entered with you. Strange, he's not in our group, is he?
Milo and I are a package deal. Or are you jealous that you've suddenly become the third wheel?
Ryan looks as if he wants to lunge at you, but Milo leans forward. He wraps his arms around you, as if to warn him. Touch a single hair on her head and I'll snap your neck. Oh, calm down, darling. Ryan hesitates and leans back down. Whatever, let's just hurry up and get this project finished. For the next couple of hours, you and Ryan planned out your project. Let's see how long it takes for a black eye to develop once punched. The two of you ordered some food and drinks, seemingly chatting nonchalantly about what to do. But underneath it all, it felt like you were pointing knives at each other's throats. Well, living under threat of violence was something to be angry about. Milo would watch silently as we talked with each other. His arms crossed, leaning back, glaring at Ryan. Like he would slam his head into the table at any moment. Scribbling down Ryan's ramblings, your spoon slipped and fell onto the ground. I got it. Milo leans down under the table to grab it, not before bumping his head against it a bit. Aw. He gently places the spoon onto your hand before glaring at Ryan. What are you looking at? Ugh, this lovey-dovey crap makes me want to barf. His hand taps on the table a bit before looking at his phone. His eyes dart around for a second before standing. Well, I got a jet. See you losers later. Grabbing his backpack, he leaves the two of us alone. Finally. You chug down the glass of water after he leaves and slam it on the table. Somehow it tastes bitter, like your disgust for him. He didn't even pay his portion of the bill, that lowlife. Don't worry, I'll make him pay. Though I might break some bones along the way. Forget it then. I need him alive so he doesn't make me do all the work. That's disappointing. Sighing, you fork over the money and you and Milo head back. Let's walk back to the dorms. I have to get some stuff before the next class. Milo nods and holds you as you walk. Aww. But as you walk, something doesn't feel right. Isn't everything going according to plan? You start to falter, your legs feeling weak, and something in that water. My muffin. Everything goes dark. You wake up, staring at the ceiling of your dorm, lying on the bed. Milo seems to have been by your side, holding and stroking your hand gently. Please, please, my muffin. You can feel his warm hands shaking you as you place your other hand on him. His eyes snapped open, and he happily holds your hand to his face. Oh, thank God, thank God. Despite how gruff he acts normally, he's always soft for you. Ah, my muffin. What happened? You passed out suddenly after we left the cafe. Did I now? This wasn't according to plan. You recall Ryan tapping his fingers against the table. His eyes were darting at the glass. Oh, I see what happened. That snake really has it out for me, huh? What did he do? He clutches onto your hand tighter, almost crushing it before loosening. Sorry,
Don't worry, you'll be able to use that anger soon. It seems that Ryan must have drugged me. Must have been the water. Dropping my spoon was the perfect opportunity for him to do so. How oddly clever for him.
First he sends gang members after us, and now he drugs you?
He punches the bed, and you can feel it creak in agony. Disgusting. He really doesn't know how to leave it alone, huh? Well, he should be given a taste of his own medicine. You tap your forehead as you think. What would make Ryan suffer more? Drugging him back would be ample payback. You do have access to the chemistry lab. Watching Ryan shudder as his body collapses on himself as he did to you would be entertaining.
Did Ryan actually do this?
Or maybe he might have other secrets he's hiding. He might see it coming if we attempt to drug him back. Stalking him would be less obvious, and it would send him a proper warning as to not mess with you. Choices, choices. Milo looks at you eagerly as you make your decision. The best way to get payback...
How are we gonna drug him back? How's that gonna work?
Wouldn't it be fun to give him a taste of his own medicine? Drugging him.
I'd rather just break his legs.
Oh, my muffin, that does sound like fun. But sometimes it's good to be a little bit more smart about it. Just think of it as a study date. It'll be more fun learning how to drug people.
Study date?
You can feel his hand warming up as he considers the date. Well then, shall we have fun on our date? Let's get going then. Despite feeling the effects, you refuse to show weakness and stand up. You think of Ryan's face in agony and smile as Milo follows you out of the dorm. You walk with Milo to a seemingly quiet part of the campus. Unlocking an abandoned lab, Milo trails in behind you.
My muffin is very clever. I didn't even know you could have access to this lab.
One of the professors here is very kind. They saw my interest in chemistry and let me use this lab. As if that were true. You had swiped it off of another student while they weren't looking and made a copy.
How devious!
He hugged into you, suddenly, startling you.
My girlfriend, you really are amazing. Even after being attacked day after day, you're so strong.
It's only because of you, my muffin, that I was able to stay strong. Waltzing into the lab, the beakers and other glass tubes stood watching us. Well then, let's get started. You think back at what it felt like when you were drugged. Dizziness, a bit of drowsiness. The way he did it so fast, and the fact that you couldn't see it in the water. Looks like that bastard learned from before and actually made the proper dosage of GHB.
So this is what he drugged you with?
He picks up a chair and throws it at the ground, bouncing and marking the wall.
Calm down, honey buns. I won't let him get away with this.
You wanted to stop him, but you suddenly felt dizzy and held on to him.
My muffin, are you okay?
It seems the drugs still have a bit of a side effect to them. You held yourself steady as Milo gently helped you stand.
You should rest.
No, I have to stop Ryan from doing this again. Here, take this first. You hand him some safety glasses, which he fumbles with awkwardly.
I feel stupid.
Really? I think you look quite nice. You wink at him, causing him to get flustered. Safety first and all that. Let's get started. GHB is probably the most common one. We have the ingredients already. Luckily, you had experience with it before and knew what to do. With the materials here, it seemed that it would be rather easy to make. I've also always wanted to make chloroform as well, though it might not be that good in this situation.
Can't we just kidnap him with it? Knock him out like BAM!
Sure, if we were in a movie. In reality, it would probably just kill him.
And that's a problem, why?
You're such a jester, Milo. Sadly, I still need him for the project.
He huffs in annoyance at your answer, but plays it cool.
Maybe for fun, I'll show you how to make it in a bit.
You pull out a silicone packet you had taken from the seaweed you had eaten earlier.
I'll have to check if it's enough, but ketamine is fun to make as well. And as for this...
You pull out another packet from your pocket.
Seems like it's pretty easy to get Rohypnol,
if you can pretend you need it for anxiety.
Oh.
My Muffet is so smart. I didn't even know you had such interest.
Ah, well, I've always been curious about these kind of things. But unfortunately, Ryan did use them against me.
Milo growls a bit as you mention him.
Ah, but now I'll be using this knowledge against him.
You reap what you sow, after all. Yeah. Yes, boy, inside the game. You sure are sowing a lot. You stretch out, prepared to teach Milo the ropes.
Shall we?
For a couple of days, you and Milo would sneak inside of the labs. You had to be careful to clean up afterwards, but considering how secluded this lab was, nobody ever came in. Milo, as usual, was a fast learner. He picked up everything naturally. At the same time, you and Ryan finished your project together. You had convinced Ryan to have a drink once the both of you had finished. A perfect opportunity.
Oh dear. How surprising. I guess since we're almost done, he wants to celebrate early. I'll be a bit more careful this time and...
You hold out some white powder to show Milo.
Get a bit of vengeance too then, Well, Milo, are you coming with? I'll need backup in case something goes wrong while we're talking.
He puts his fists together as if he's ready to punch someone. Of course, I'll always be by your side, my muffin. And if anything happens, I won't hesitate to kill him. His voice was sharp and dangerous, as if you were sliding your finger against the blade of a knife. You didn't think you could say anything to convince him to hold back.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that then.
Though you couldn't lie. You were curious to see what he would have done if you hadn't stopped him. We arrived at the bar that Ryan had invited us. Hey, it's... His fake smile dropped as he saw that Milo had joined you. You two. You looked at him, condescended. I narrowed my eyes at you, Ryan. Condescendingly.
Sorry, did you not think I would bring him?
I thought it would just be us two, 'cause we actually worked on the project.
Ah, well, sorry about that.
You smiled in a fake manner, and he glares at Milo. And Milo glares back.
Ain't he cute?
Ryan looks away, as if annoyed. Ryan droops down closer to you and whispers, Espoir, don't you think this is too much? I mean, all this for him?
I'm not sure I like what you're trying to say, Ryan.
Ryan feels Milo staring at him from behind. Never mind. When have you ever listened to me anyways? It'll end up badly,
Thanks for the warning. But I know what I'm doing.
He turns to the bartender to call for our drinks.
Ah, how nostalgic. It seems you still remember my favorite.
Well, yeah. I'm not a monster. The barkeep taps our drinks onto the counter, and we cheer to finish our project. To us, and another year of our professors torturing us. He puts the glass to his lips. You grab the edge of the glass before he can drink. Hey, what gives?
I just wanted to add a bit of flavor.
You pull out a small bag and dump it into his drink, not breaking eye contact. That is bold. Just here, let me drug you really quickly. What the heck? Did you just drug my drink in front of me?
Go ahead, drink it.
Heck no. You must be crazy to think I drink that. There's no way. Barkeep,
That's cute. You make it sound like you have a choice.
You grab his hand tightly and stare into his eyes. Drink it.
Oh boy, I'm being so intense. I'm starting to scare myself.
What?
I know what you did, Ryan. Did you think I'm that naive? Come on, it's only fair.
You're crazy.
Am I, Ryan? Weren't you the one who did it first?
He shrinks away from you and tries to leave, but Milo stops him. And where do you think you're going? Ryan looks back at you, and then at him.
I don't know, Ryan. You could leave now, but would you really want to?
You push the drink in front of him.
To our project. May we have another good semester.
Shaking, he picks up his drink and drinks it. His eyes darting, he tries to run off, but Milo stands in his way. Where do you think you're going? Out of the way! Milo lunges for him, but Ryan is able to dodge. He runs at you, shoving you onto the floor with a thud. Eyes wide, Milo runs to you as Ryan gets away. My muffin! He holds onto you carefully and cradles you, before glaring in the direction that Ryan ran off to. I'm going to... He tries to lunge for him, but you grab onto his arm.
Bad boy.
He hesitates. But...
Don't worry, he's learned his lesson. It would be suspicious if we get rid of him now. And anyways, I doubt he'll ever mess with you again. Come on now, Milo. Let me buy you a drink. Did he purr a little bit? You did such a good job.
Dragging his attention away from Ryan, you meet Milo's gaze. You just wanted him to look at you. And only you.
Aww.
No way this'll end badly. And so college life went as normal. Whenever you saw Ryan, he would hurriedly walk towards the opposite direction. And Milo started to take up cooking, strangely enough. He had always said he would make a good house husband. He would proudly give you his food and let you taste test it. I want to be able to cook for you when we get married, he'd say, blushing. Every dish he made was more delicious than the last. But you started to realize... where are you going? Don't you remember you have classes today? Huh? Lunch? What are you talking about? It's almost dinner. Are you doing okay? Let me take you back to your dorm. You've been feeling a bit off lately. That your memory was deteriorating. Something he must have done. He was using your lessons well, wasn't he? And while Milo was concerned over you, you could feel him smiling at the results. Wait, did he start drugging me with his delicious home-cooked meals? A protective dog, looking after his master. And you couldn't be happier. And so, for a while, nothing else out of the blue went on. It was always just you and Milo. Weirdly enough, Milo seemed to cook for you less and less. The strange fog that you had gotten before was slowly lifting, and it was infuriating to you. More affectionate he was, hugging and clinging to you,
as if he was resisting it, as if he was stopping himself. How sweet, how cute, how lovely, how kind. How weak, how pathetic, how insufferable, how disgusting. Ah, so close to creating the perfect love, and yet he was backing out. It seemed to you, despite how much he had changed, the old meek Milo was still holding himself back. How sad. It seems you haven't pushed him enough. You had to break him.
I don't like where this is going.
Well then, there was only one thing to do. Push him to the brink.
I'm pretty sure you staged your own drugging, so what more can you do?
Just one final push. He was walking with you across campus as usual, looking around, fidgeting a bit. Is there something on your mind, Milo? Milo stops for a moment and hesitates. You've really changed me for the better. Before, I was such a weakling, pushed around constantly. But now, no one will dare do such a thing. He holds your hand tenderly. And now, I'm happier than ever. It's all thanks to you. He leans his head against your shoulder. I want to make you mine. We're going to be together forever, right? You breathed out slowly as you heard his words. Ah, poor simple Milo. His fate was sealed for good. Just one more push. I wish that were true, Milo, that we could be together until our graves. But let's be honest here, my muffin. Do you really think that will happen? Do you really think I would never break up with you? Milo?
No! No! I won't let you. You're mine. My one and only girlfriend. After all those times I protected you, after all I've done, you're just going to throw me away? Like trash? Like junk? You and I promised we would be together. If it's not with you, I would rather kill you myself. I knew it. I knew I should have put a higher dosage. Wouldn't you just rely on me then, so I could always take care of you? So I would be your entire world?
Milo.
There's nothing left for me. I only exist for you. Nobody else. Only you. Without you, what's the point of living? Why should I even exist? Oh no! Milo! Quit it! All right!
Your own snap caused Milo to flinch. It was the first time you had ever raised your voice at him. I don't want to leave you. I want to be with you until death do us part. But time is not kind to us. We could drift apart or fight.
No, we won't.
Then what about those around us? Do you think they won't try to tear us apart? You leaned closer to him, next to his ear. My muffin, it's the world around us that wants to take us apart. They're always planning, scheming, watching us fall apart. Don't you see? There's no way to escape it. You lean back, closing your eyes as if contemplating. Well, maybe there is a way. Milo's eyes light up. He leaned closer to you.
What? What is it? Whatever it is, I refuse to let them take us.
You cocked your head slightly. The final push. The only way for us to stay together forever is... to get rid of them, or to protect me? Okay, what's the worst that could happen to get rid of them? Also, the little eye cursor changes to stare at you like, what are you doing? What's wrong with you? What's to get rid of them? This world is a cruel place, isn't it, my muffin? All this rot that tries to tear us apart. Then there's only one thing for you to do. Destroy them all. When they're all gone, then I will be yours. Oh yeah, that's not gonna end poorly. And just like that, Milo's eyes had changed. Ah! You weren't sure, but it felt like a haunting red, ready to slaughter them all off. Milo, you understand what I mean, right? I'm sure if it ever comes to that, you'll know what to do. My muffin has always been so smart. That's why I will protect you from everyone in this world. I'll make sure everyone has an eternal sleep, and break their ribs so they never wake up again. You can't help but smile happily at the results. This next part will be fun. You're absolutely insane. You've pushed this poor boy to the brink. It had taken you a while to track him down properly, but there he was, in your line of sight. You walked up to him, quietly. Oh, geez, Ryan, you might want to skip town or something, buddy. Move to another country. I hear Switzerland is nice. Ryan! He flinched at your voice and started to back away. What do you want from me? We're done. Done, you hear me? I've already sent transfers to another college, so... Oh, Ryan, what are you so afraid of? That Milo might come after you? His face was full of nothing but rage towards you. You were the one who forced me to bully him, to do all of those things. What are you talking about, Ryan? I never said that. Or at least you have no proof. Seriously, Espoir, haven't you done enough already? All this training for Milo. Blaming me for sending all those goons after you, even though you were the ones who did it yourself? What kind of insane person would do that? Forcing me to drug you, then making me drink that with Milo there? Seriously, what's wrong with you? Just leave me alone. I did everything that you asked, right? You smiled slightly, and he snapped at you. All of this, it's all your fault. Why those people died? Why I'm still in this situation? I wish you would just die. Leave me alone. Please don't make yourself into such a saint. Weren't you the one who wanted to prank all of those people, even though you knew it was dangerous? And who was the one who shifted the blame to others so you wouldn't be jailed? Don't you think it's the least you could do after you cheated on me? Come on, just admit it. You're the one who resigned yourself to this punishment. You have no one to blame but yourself. You refused to break up with me. I didn't want to be with you anymore. He's hyperventilating from the stress. It was a joy to watch him struggle. Just like when you were together with him, it was so entertaining, watching him flounder about, watching him cry, watching him beg, forcing him to go through such lengths to get rid of you. When you got bored of him, you tricked him into cheating with someone. He was never your perfect love in the first place. Never would have been. The only hope for failures like that is to crush them to dust.
She's so evil. I mean, there's cruel, and then there's downright vile. That is impressively evil.
Fine, you win. He stops for a second, not believing what he's heard.
What?
You're right. You did what I asked you. And I promised I would let you go. His eyes tell you he doesn't believe you.
He knows you far too well.
Well, after this one thing.
I knew there was a catch.
You pull out a USB, and Ryan's eyes widen with fear.
Is that?
It is the last piece of evidence that proves that you were the one who killed those people. It would be a shame if this went into the wrong hands. Ryan lunged at you, desperately trying to grab the USB from your hands, but you dodged him. That's the spirit.
Give it! Give it to me! Give it to me!
I will. Pry it from my hands. Fight me if you have to. Take it from me, and it's all yours. Without another word, Ryan tackled you to the ground. He tried to swipe at the USB over and over again.
Don't you know how evil she is? That's probably not even the right USB. It's probably got a bunch of cat pictures on it.
You struggled to move with his weight on you. He took the USB with ease.
Finally!
Before he could make another move, Ryan was lifted into the air by his neck. His choked-out breathing, clawing as he tried to get Milo's hands off of him. The USB dropped to the floor with a clatter, and Milo stepped on it, shattering it instantly. What do we have here? Milo's grip tightened as tears grew in Ryan's eyes.
I didn't know we had a rat problem.
He turned to you, wanting to know if he could kill him right then and there. But you shook your head simply. It would be a mess if we don't have anything to clean up with. With a grimace and a growl, Milo threw Ryan down onto the floor with a thud.
Why doesn't Ryan get Milo alone and explain all this to him? Then I would get my comeuppance.
Milo kicked his stomach, causing the wind to be knocked out of Ryan.
If I see you near my girlfriend ever again,
I will finish the job. Coughing and sputtering, Ryan crawled away to safety, crying as he did. He turned to you, clearly filled with rage.
How dare that scum touch you, after all that he did to you?
And you even let him go. You really are too kind, my muffin. You let out a sad sigh as Milo glared in Ryan's direction. Who knows what he might do next, though? I'm still afraid he might target me again. Milo hugged you suddenly again, caressing your back. Don't worry, my muffin. You were right. This world is so dangerous and filled with horrid people. But don't worry. He let go for a second, looking into your eyes. I will never let them touch you, because you are mine, and mine alone. As his eyes looked into yours, it felt as if you could feel the heat from his burning red eyes. For a while, you wondered about the whereabouts of Ryan. He seemed to have disappeared suddenly and without a trace. Milo, in the meantime, seemed to have taken up his love for cooking again. He had promised you an exciting meal for your two's anniversary together. I promise that it will be something special, my muffin. Something that you will never forget. It was strange, though. You had never seen him so excited before. You wondered what he had in store for you. Despite you trying to look around, it seemed Milo was determined to keep it a surprise. And so you waited. Then, on your anniversary, you found him inside your dorm. How strange, you thought. You never gave him a copy of your key. With his apron and candle-lit lighting, he eagerly waited for you to sit down. "I'm sorry it took so long. It was hard to find the ingredients for this recipe. I hope you enjoy it." He said it normally, as if nothing was strange, but his eyes were still filled with red, as if he were waiting for something. As you both sat down, you looked at the soup that lay before you. It was red and thick, and the smell was something undescribable. Dipping a spoon into the pot, he gestured for you to open your mouth, and fed you as it went on. "Ah, this is really tasty, my muffin. You would make a great house husband." His face reddened at that compliment and looked away shyly. "I was afraid that you might not like it, but I shouldn't have been. After all, you're perfect. I could make more if you like, though maybe not this specific dish." "And why is that, my muffin?" "It has a very rare ingredient in it. I don't think I could get it again." "Is it Ryan?" "It's Ryan, isn't it?" He looked at you with enthusiasm. "But don't worry, I can make you plenty of other dishes, just as amazing as the next." As he smiled, you saw something move inside of the soup. It looked at you as if it were afraid. It took you a second, but you recognized the color of it. Ryan's eyeball. And another inside of the spoon that Milo was trying to feed you. A pause. Milo seemed to shrink away for a second. "Sorry, is something—" "No, Milo. Nothing's wrong." You couldn't help but smile as you took a bite. "Of course, I have no doubt, my muffin. I can't wait until you cook your next rare meal." "How tasty!" "You really have finally made it. Such a wonderful flavor he was. Your perfect love. A cannibal's love end." Okay. Good fluff and soup. If you name your character Ashton. Ashton. Ah, did you jump from another game or something? Don't forget your garden shears. Maybe you might need them. Wait, what? Wait, what? What if I name myself Ashton and I name Milo, or if I nickname Milo Honey? My honey. Ah. What is it, Milo? Oh, nothing. I just didn't expect such a sweet nickname. Did you think otherwise? No, I didn't. I'm just kidding, Milo. Aw, that's so cute. Thank you for the Easter egg of my game Picture Perfect Boyfriend. Actually, Ashton and Milo probably would get along very well. Ashton would be incredibly protective of his Milo. Instead of telling Milo to, I don't know, go on a killing spree, what if I just tell him to protect me? No matter what, the world will always find a way to take us apart. It's cruel, isn't it? Then the solution is simple. Just make sure I can't be taken away. Make it so I'm yours. This is gonna end up with me losing all my limbs, isn't it? This is gonna end up with me strapped to a bed. And just like that, Milo's eyes had changed. It felt as if you would simply freeze in place looking at him.
Oh, his eyes are blue now.
As if he would do anything to make you his. I think you know what I'm talking about, right, Milo? Sometimes those kind of things simply can't be helped. Of course. Why didn't I think of that? You were always mine to begin with. I should have just taken you earlier. To somewhere where no one else can find you.
Oh no!
You nearly laugh at the results that you had produced. You couldn't wait until he broke. You struggled to move with his weight on you. He took the USB with ease. Finally! Something loomed over Ryan as he laughed. You could feel Ryan shudder as he felt a presence behind him. The air was heavy and thick, as if every breath was seeped in poison. Milo's eyes weren't one of a human's anymore, as if it were something far more sinister. Ryan opened his mouth as if to come up with some excuse, but before he could say anything, Milo pulled out his bat. And without another word, swung it towards his legs, and the sound of his bones splintering filled the air.
Ooh.
There was a blood-curdling scream as he grabbed his leg in agony. The sound of howling pain echoed in the air.
Ah, how unfortunate for you.
You noticed out of the corner of your eye a shadow of people coming to see the commotion. We have to go, Milo. They're going to find us. Milo turned to the shaking Ryan, grabbing his collar. If you tell anyone else about this, your skull will be the next baseball for me to hit. Throwing him onto the ground, you and Milo made your escape. After escaping from the scene, you felt Milo's gaze burning through you.
I think we're far away enough.
You grabbed at Milo's arm, but he only stared at you, unmovingly. Why were you talking to him, my honey?
Oh, it was nothing important. At least, not anymore.
Did you like him? It was a simple question that made you stand on end. The way you were looking at him, watching him. That's what it was, wasn't it? He growled viciously, as if imagining tearing his head off. It doesn't matter. You belong to me now. You will never go back to him. I'll make sure of it. The blue in his eyes left you speechless, as if frozen by his words. And yet somehow, you felt happy beyond belief. Just as he had said, Ryan seemed to have transferred schools. However, it didn't seem like Milo had let go of his anger towards him, and towards you.
Oh no.
Yet he still took care of you, and he was always by your side. It was strange, you thought, when he suddenly took up cooking again. He would often mutter to himself as you did your projects, and you watched him cook. You had hoped that he would be planning something exciting for you. And so he did, one seemingly normal afternoon. He gave you some cookies that he had baked earlier that day. Oh, knowing me, I scarfed him down without a second thought. I hope you like it. He looked at you, tentatively, as you ate them without thought. You should have been more careful. It felt hard to breathe when you woke up.
Oh.
Coughing and sputtering, you were bound to a chair as the ropes rubbed against you. You felt a pain and soreness everywhere, as if someone had knocked you and kicked you as you slept. Though it was dark, your eyes were slowly adjusting. as you saw two eyes looking back at you.
My honey,
you managed to say. You felt oddly dazed and tried to go closer to him, but you couldn't feel your legs. Sunlight came through the sides of the building, and you finally saw his face. His eyes, blue and cold, but his face slashed in blood. I hope you had a nice sleep. His voice was surprisingly gentle, but it still had a hint of stiffness to it, as if his voice hadn't spoken for a while. I really did want to do it more gently. But, as it turns out, I still messed up on cutting your tendon. So I just took the whole thing. His smile was wide and unnerving, and he had seemed so happy about what he had done. I'm not as good as Ryan. I know I never will be. But that's okay. You will always be mine now. You can't run anymore. It took you a while to realize what he meant. Ah, of course. The red that was slathered on his face, the choice of words. You looked down. You couldn't touch the floor anymore. Your legs were gone. What was left of them was sewn up as if a doll. Your legs were gone. You started to breathe heavily. Everything felt as if it were crashing. Ah, don't move. You're going to... And then you started laughing. So happy. So brilliantly happy. Milo looked surprised, not knowing what to say. Beautiful. Beautiful. You've done well, Milo. You couldn't stop laughing. You couldn't stop smiling. A never-ending echo of pure happiness, of full insanity. Ah, this is just what I wanted, Milo. Finally, you've truly done it. You're perfect. The laughter, the final end goal, fulfilled. Oh, you couldn't have been happier. Insanity, disgust maybe, others might say. But you couldn't care less. To you, this was, without a doubt, your perfect love. A kidnapper's love ending.